Forever. Dog.
Sometimes a school is incredible and you can't quite explain it, so you try. Is Hampton High? Hello, you listen to Hampton High, the podcast that asks the question, what about WTF with Mark Maron, but from my school? I'm your host, Hampton McKelvey. I'm a junior, and I'm talking to Rockville Prep's most interesting students, staff, and all the above. Rockville Prep, go Skunks! Hello, Hampton High. Hello, Skunkies. Today we have a very interesting interview. Before we get into that, I want to talk about what's been happening at Rockville Prep, the school with the message, the school with the attitude, the school with me, Hampton. Something that's been happening recently is people have been stealing bikes, like directly from the bike rack, and that is very scary to me. Because like this is a place where like people park really nice cars. This is a place where people like bring nice books. This is a place where people dress really well. This is a place where like, you know, this is a place of safety for me. And the idea that bikes in particular, these strange like. A bike is like it's like a halfway between a watch and a car, because it's like it's a symbol of status, but also recreational, but also gets you here and there. And so the idea of someone like pinpointing bikes rather than like going to lockers to get watches or wallets or trying to get a car means like there is an intention that I, as a little detective, am sort of seeing in that I think people are trying to intimidate us by stealing bikes. That's what I'm thinking right now. Also, like, you know, I know that a lot of people there's like the skateboarders versus bikers like debate, and I sort of like am either way. I think they're both super cool. Don't do either of them because I'm scared of hurting my head, which is my most valuable part of my body. But so maybe it's like a skateboarder or something like that. Anyways, that's something that's been happening. But what I really want to talk about is what I really want to talk to my guest today. My guest today is Tagan Jones. She's a sophomore. And actually, like, I'm really happy because she asked to be on the pod, which I appreciate. You know, that doesn't always happen, but I assume she has a reason. Is that correct, Tagan?
Yes, I did have a reason for coming onto the pod today.
Okay, thanks, Tagan. This is Tagan Jones, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I would call you the queen bee of the sophomores. Is that fair to say?
I think that's 100% fair to say.
Yeah, because like you, from my perception of you have this sort of like, everyone likes you. You're sort of like in control in a way that's actually very respectful. Like, you're not like a mean queen bee. You're sort of like a positive queen bee, and like that's cool. We don't really know each other that well though, so I only really know you from afar. So I'm sort of curious, like what's going on? Like why'd you ask to be in the pod today?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm super excited to be here. I feel really honored that you would even let me come into your space.
Shut up.
You're just someone that I've always admired. Definitely one of the hottest guys at school. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. I'm so crazy.
Tagan, seriously, calm down. Okay.
I just feel like you and I have always, we don't get to talk or anything, but I'll never forget, when I was a freshman and it was like my first cool party from school, and I was just there, and I was really, really super embarrassed because I had spilled punch all over my dress, and you gave me your jacket, and you were like, just wear my jacket, and you zipped it up. You put the jacket on me, and you put the zipper together, and you zipped it all the way up to my chin, and you just like kind of were like, here, you can keep it, don't worry about it. And I will never forget that.
Oh my God, did I do that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my God, I must have been. Oh well, I mean, I'm happy that meant something to you. Just like I don't remember, this like when you're talking to freshmen, you know what it's like when you're a sophomore and you're talking to freshmen. Like sort of you put on you put on your little you put on your crown, you put on your little
definitely you have to let them know who's who and what's what, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but it makes me feel good that I was doing that, that someone saw me doing that in a respectful way. You know what I mean?
Of course, and I definitely feel like that was an example for me, and I feel like that's what I'm doing with everyone at school now. I make time for people.
Yeah,
I make time to be nice to them, but I also make time to let them know who I am. and how important I am.
For sure.
You know, I definitely take the time to establish dominance.
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, I think that's really cool because, like, I think you have to do that. Especially if I may say, as like a woman in a school, like it's a whole different thing than with guys.
Definitely,
you
Hampton. Please tell me more about being a woman in the school.
Stop.
Please, oh my God.
Stop. But you know what I mean. Though. Like, you know, I'm not trying to say like I know, but we can both admit that like that being a cool guy and being a cool girl in school there's different muscles you have to flex. You know what I mean? For
sure. And I definitely feel like you of all people would know that.
Yeah,
because you've been flexing those muscles for quite a while.
Yeah, I've had to jump through a bunch of hurdles for sure.
But now you're definitely, you know, pursuing something a little bit more experimental, a little bit more artistic, some would say.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast is, you know, it's political and artistic and experimental to a degree, you know, and I think the reason I was able to do it is because I was so well regarded. I've flexed. I put my time in. So people have been cool about letting me spread my wings a little bit, which I appreciate.
And you must feel so much more relaxed now that you don't have to flex anything.
No, I mean, no, I feel grateful, but I do feel.
I mean, you look relaxed.
I mean, I'm relaxed here because I love doing this podcast, but I do think that, like, you know, sometimes people take cheap shots because I've talked more about myself on this pod.
I mean, we literally know everything about you which is wonderful, which is amazing. I think that's like really, really good for you, but I don't necessarily know if that's good for your rap.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's like, I love hearing about your relationship with your parents and how that's really cultivated who you are.
Yeah.
But also it's just like, if I didn't know that, I would probably have more respect for you. Like, I don't want to know how much time you spend with your mom. And like, I don't want to know how much time you spend helping her like bake and stuff. It's like, how can I look at you and be like, that's the hottest guy in school? When then I imagine you like in a kitchen with an apron on with your mom, just like baking cookies.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, cookies are not hot.
Sure, all right. Well, I guess like, sure, like yeah, I get. Sure, like when you're sometimes revealing stuff. Like I talk a lot about.
You talk a lot about the cookies.
I've talked a lot about the cookies. I've talked a lot about how my dad fucking sucks, and I guess like, you know. I think it's a brave thing, personally, to reveal that stuff, and I think bravery is rewarded. It's certainly not the choices I would make, like, on the fucking lacrosse field or at a party, but this is, you know, I think people respect that I'm doing that here. You know what I mean? And, like,
sure,
and being hot is, like, not, you know, I've never had a problem.
I guess it's not a priority anymore.
I mean, I've never had a problem not being hot. So it was never really a priority, you know, like it just sort of happens. But what do you...
I guess it's not happening anymore.
Sorry, what's... Tagan, what's going on? Tagan, what's going on?
I'm just laughing. No, I'm so sorry.
We'll cut that out.
We better. Anyway.
Yeah, you know, get your laughs out now.
I am so sorry. That is so disrespectful.
Yeah, no, it is kind of disrespectful, to be honest, Tagan. I wasn't really expecting that from you, so I'm a little confused here because, like, you're being really cool up top, and then you're saying, like, oh, I'm not focused on being hot anymore. I guess that's one of the differences between being a guy and a girl in the popularity thing. You know, like, I think girls sort of have to cultivate that hotness more because, like, for example, you know, like, you know, as a guy, you know, you just sort of have to, like, work out and people will give you that respect, which is nice. And then girl, I guess a lot of girls, like, really want to put a lot of makeup on. You know, clearly you try to
love makeup.
Yeah.
Cake the face.
Yeah, and so clearly you're putting time into that, which you could be, using other places too. So,
actually, as a woman, I feel like I'm really good at time management. I'm really good at multitasking.
Oh, yeah.
So like I can be putting on makeup and putting my soup kitchen together and feeding the homeless and basically being a modern day Mother Teresa with a beat ass face and a Kim K butt. You know what I mean? That's what I'm really going for. Also, as a Black woman going to this very white school, I just want to say the same standards of beauty don't apply. And I'm not applying them to you at all. I'm just saying from like what I've seen and the way that other girls feel, it's just like your status is dropping. Personally, I'm into looking at people for who they are and seeing the beauty within.
Okay, so first of all, you're speaking for other girls. Interesting. I think every woman should speak for herself.
I'm really cool with a lot of the girls, especially the sophomore girls. We're all very close. I'm really interested in like making sure that a lot of the girls don't feel like that mean girl mentality coming from me. Do they need to know that I'm the boss? Do they need to know that I'm in charge? Of course. But I still want them to feel good about themselves. So I make it a priority to like reach out.
That's good. I'm super cool with that. Do whatever you need to do to maintain the people in your grade. But for people like me who sort of have to speak for the entire school, I think different standards apply, So like I understand how you may feel and your little friends may be feeling that my status is dropping in some way because I'm revealing myself on the podcast, which is actually going to do more for the entire school and community than just like just juniors, because I could have made this a junior podcast. You know what I mean? Like, and first of all, and also good job with helping the homeless. I think that's really great. I think it's really interesting how you've sort of only organized sophomores to go on those feeding the homeless trips rather than the entire school. So that might be a little. So I guess what I'm saying is like, it's really easy to rule a grade, but when you're sort of king of the school in a way that I feel comfortable saying I have been, it's a bit of a different priorities and different different focus. So just saying that up top.
Well,
do you need some water?
Actually, no thanks. I have some.
Oh, good.
I totally agree with you. I think that you're right. Definitely call me out about only taking sophomores to feed the homeless. But the honest truth is that that's a project that's really, really close to my heart. And I just started the project, being that I am a sophomore.
Yeah.
And I just started it and
Yeah.
it's already growing. And I'm sure that by the time I'm a junior, the entire school will be going. But we've actually been really successful and everything is going really, really well. And I was just like kind of trying to keep it a secret that I'm going to grow the program. But, I feel like you wanted for me to talk about it. So I'm happy to talk about it. I feel like, again, like I am a sophomore, but where I am right now, and where you are right now, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's on the same level.
What? The same level as what? What are you trying to say?
Because let's keep it real. I mean, a few months into my freshman year, you and I were kind of on the same level. And now...
No, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And now, I mean, look at all of my accomplishments. I'm actually out here shaking hands with the people. I'm actually out here getting to know the school community and taking care of them. And you know what? I get it. You're really busy with your one podcast and some lacrosse, and I'm busy with drama club, the Gay Straight Alliance, my soup kitchen, making sure that I'm a bad bitch and also that my makeup is beat as hell at the same time. I'm busy with my family. I'm busy with my friends. I even had to sacrifice cheerleading because when I thought about it, I said, what's more important, giving back to people, making connections, or cheerleading? So that's just something that I've done.
Tagan, why did you ask to be in this podcast?
We spoke earlier about just how I like to move within the school and how I like for people to understand me. Like, yes, I want everyone to know who I am. Yes, I want everyone to know that I'm better than them. And I like to establish dominance. And I think that you have a really great platform here. And I think that what you're trying to do is really, 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 really cute. But I think it's time that we just admit and just accept that you're not the king of the school anymore. and that I'm the queen bee of the entire school. And that's fine. Do you need some water?
No, I'm fine. So you're coming for the crown.
I think I have the crown.
Okay, Tagan. Let's talk for a second.
Sure, we haven't been talking. Let's talk some more.
Tagan, I get that, like, I took a risk doing this, you know? And I get that it's pretty easy to call out someone for talking about their mom in public. I get that, you know, because you're not actively working in the AP classes, which juniors and seniors have to, and because you're not actively trying to get into colleges that juniors and seniors have to, you got a little more free time to do all the stuff that you've been putting together. I get that. I get that, oh, you had to quit cheerleading because you're too focused. Yeah, I get quitting stuff. I've quit a bunch of shit.
We know.
What I think you need to figure out is just because you can dominate doesn't mean you should. And just because you have your little web of sophomores.
100%. Can I just interrupt you very quickly? I just want to touch on what you said. Just because I can dominate doesn't mean that I should. But in this case, for the better of the school, I should dominate.
How the heck? Okay, she's dancing. She's dancing in the fucking studio. Okay, look, tell me right now, can you do better than I'm not doing right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real for a second. Beyond like what you say you're gonna do with your feeding the homeless thing. Why? Why you, not me? Like, I've done so much. I've earned the right to like let myself be a part of the. And you know what? Yeah, maybe I've been putting more time into the podcast and other stuff. Sure, but that's a good thing for the school, and that should feed into my popularity and should feed into my status. Do you know what I mean? And you're trying to say that me doing this podcast is an opposite effect of my status, right? But it should actually be a good thing for my status. Like, am I wrong?
I mean, how do you even know what people really think of you? Because you've kind of put yourself in this space where you're like not one of us anymore. You're this person that has this podcast. You have people come on here. You're asking all these questions. You're revealing all these things about yourself. What makes you think that you're the same as everyone else? You've ostracized yourself. And, you know, that was a choice that you made. I think people are going to always speak to you. I think people are going to always know who you are because of this pod. This pod has become your identity. And that's fine. I think you're really happy. You look well rested. You know, your cheeks look rosy. You look like maybe this is where you belong. And I think that you know this is where you belong.
That was really nasty. This is really nasty thing you're doing here. I don't appreciate 1 second, and I've always respected you. And I think you coming for me takes like... It's bullshit. Take some boldness. I'll say that right now. I admire that, you know.
I also just want to say that everything you're saying right now doesn't really sound like a rebuttal. And I would know because I'm on the debate team. Speaking of colleges, I'll get into a bunch of them.
Yeah, me too. So
sure you will. What's your major going to be? Podcasts?
No. I'm actually thinking English. Even though my daddy wants me to do business. But I guess I shouldn't be talking about what my dad wants because that's revealing too much.
You just call him your daddy or your dad?
I call him my dad. I didn't call him my daddy.
It's okay. You can call him daddy.
I didn't call him daddy.
It's fine. Just call him daddy.
Take it. I didn't call him daddy. Do you really think do you really think I've ostracized? Do you really think I've ostracized myself? Like, can we actually cut the bullshit here? Like, I see that you're coming for me, and cool, respect, but like,
thank you so much.
But what this space where you're at right now, this isn't just politics. This is about getting people to be honest, okay? And so I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I'm pissed.
I can see that.
You can see that, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and respect what you said. Okay, And so I want you to drop the bullshit, drop the spears into the side of the leader, me being the leader, you having the spears. Be honest, like, do you actually think I've like ostracized myself here? Because I thought I've been trying to build more bridges than break them down. Do you know what I mean?
I think you have. I think you've ostracized yourself. I see your intention. I think that your intention is a great intention. Everyone's listening to the pod. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. We're all listening to the pod. But it's kind of like all you have. But it's such a cool thing to have.
Can you like literally? But like, you are now being condescending to me. I can hear it in your voice. I'm asking you to be real with me for a second.
Oh my god, I apologize so much. I'm really
oh my
not.
god,
I don't want. Are you okay? Do you need a tissue?
You're good at this. Let's just say. Okay. Let's play a little game. Let's say right now I'll just say I'll relinquish the crown. Let's pretend. I say I'll give it to you. Queen bee of the school, not the sophomores.
We could say that I came in here and I took it.
Well, let's not say that because that's not what happened.
Okay, let's see what makes you feel better.
Let's just say that you have the crown. What do you do day one? Come on. You came for me, so you must have a battle plan, right? What would you do day one? Your first 100 days in office.
First of all, I don't think I would do anything differently than I did it yesterday. Me coming for you, I've been coming for you since I put my foot in the door, since my freshman year. I've been putting in the groundwork. I don't need to explain my first 100 days. I don't have 100-day plans. My only plan is to be myself, which is the queen bee. And everything will fall into place like it has fallen into place ever since I put my foot in this school. And then I put my other foot in this school. And then I walked right in.
Yeah, no, I know what walking into a school is, Tagan.
And then, over time, I took it over. And it's gonna be beautiful.
Fuck. I'm gonna say something right now.
Please do.
I see what you're doing. So, number one, I see what you're doing. And, you're good at it.
Thank you.
And you want it. And I also know I used to be right there. Like, you're right. Like, the openness that I've put in this podcast is not something that started this way. Like, I knew how to make my image work. And you know how to make your image work. And I've been less concerned with that recently because I'm trying to figure out myself, beyond popularity, because I think that's a pretty noble thing these days. You want it?
Yes.
Do you want it?
We've kind of already established that I'm going to take it.
I wanted to.
Okay, fine. You want to do this thing? We'll do this thing. Ask me if I want it again.
Okay. We'll edit that part out. Do you want it?
Yes.
Okay. The crown. Everyone? Rockville Prep. Your king, Hampton McKelvey. I am no longer king of the school. I relinquish the crown to Tagan Jones. She is now queen bee of the school. And what we'll do is I have that like paper mache thing that I got from Kobe 2 years ago in my locker. And I'll give that to you, all right? And that can be and that will be the sign, that will be the crown, that will be that will be it.
No, thank you. But I will take your Apple Watch.
What?
You heard me.
You want my Apple Watch?
Yes.
Like as the crown?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just get a new one.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Looks good on you. Oh, wow, it's weird. I usually don't wear my Apple Watch. No, I usually don't go without wearing my Apple Watch. I even wear it when I play lacrosse. Dang.
Yeah, I can see your tan. Your Apple Watch tan.
Dang.
Is
that gross, tan?
Kind of.
I should get just a new watch soon, though, because I don't like that tan.
Well, make sure it's not an Apple Watch.
No, I get another Apple Watch.
No, you can't have an Apple Watch.
Well, why not?
You can't have an Apple Watch while I'm the queen bee of this school. The whole point of you giving me your Apple Watch is that I'm the queen bee. So if I have one, you can't have one.
But it's like it's a symbolic thing that like I'll give you different. I'll get a different color.
Absolutely not. You cannot have an Apple Watch.
Why
you
not?
can have a Samsung watch.
But the Apple Watch is the best watch.
That's actually not true.
No, first of all,
have you read about it?
What do you? I mean, I just know it's an Apple product, and Apple products are the best.
This is why I'm the queen bee and you're not. You haven't even read about it.
What? So what? No, I'm gonna get another Apple Watch.
You can't have one.
Why not?
You just gave me the crown. I'm the queen. I'm telling you no.
What the hell?
Thank you so much.
Coolest freshman.
Coolest freshman is Mary Swinger.
Mary Swinger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. She rides horses, right?
Yeah, she's an equestrian.
Yeah. That's cool. I always respect the horse people. They always feel like they're doing their own thing, and I like that.
I feel like it's very regal to be an equestrian.
Yeah, it is kind of regal. Can you ride a horse? I can't ride a horse.
I can't ride a horse. I actually have no interest in riding a horse.
That's cool. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Tagan Jones, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.